And then you're going to do, one or two subjects of your real schoolwork. So what happens is the younger kids watch the older kid doing the circuit, and they say, oh, look, I can do that with the Play-Doh. I can do this. And they mimic, and they also see that their sibling is sitting there under control because they're older and they have more self-control. And it just provides a really nice influence on the younger kids. And my 6-year-old and even my 8-year-old usually beg me to do Play-Doh when we start out our school day. And now, I have to say no to my 8-year-old because she's got a lot to do. And if she spends 20 minutes doing Play-Doh, we won't be done school till the middle of the afternoon. Okay, so sometimes we incorporate seasonally appropriate crafts and activities into the circuit. It's Thanksgiving, so maybe we'll make handprint turkeys or something. I do this rarely because I've already confessed I'm not crafty. But if you are a crafty person, you may want to schedule that in to do that sort of thing and incorporate it in. I've already talked, I'm going to go through now some examples of the activities that I use for the circuit. I have just a few of them out there, but really the sky's the limit, so don't be limited by the examples that I'm giving. Obviously, we talked about the Play-Doh, and you don't have to make it. Making Play-Doh seems just really intense and crazy to you. It's not that expensive to buy it at the store. But I find with my kids using it every morning that we go through a lot of it, and little bits of it wind up on your floor and you can be swept up and get thrown away, so the Play-Doh thing kind of shrinks as you go through your school year. So it's nice every 2 months. I get out the pot and make a big thing of it, and it's warm, and the kids like that we made it in the kitchen, and they got to watch me. Another activity we do is pattern blocks. Most of you are probably familiar with that. There's patterns, you have set sheets, they have to fill them in. There's all different levels of that where they're, just basic matching them on a card, all the way up to there's an empty design and they have to figure out what shapes will work to fill out the design. We use lace-up cards, which they strain the shoelace. It's really good for fine motor skill through the cards. They have all different levels of those as well. Just the basic, my 2.5-year-old is very difficult for her to just stick that thing through and learn to pull it through the other side, whereas my 4-year-old is like, there's numbers on it. I need to go in number order around. Or little letters, we need to do alphabetical order around. So obviously all different ages are getting different skills out of the lace-up cards. We do flashcards. Again, these are really inexpensive. You can buy them for like $3 where you have numbers and then flash, the number 1, number 2, number 3, pictures, and then pictures of 3 objects, 4 objects, 5 objects. So they put them all up and then they've got to sort through a pile and find the right cards and match them up. That's too advanced for a 2.5-year-old, but if your children are a little older doing the circuit, they're 4 or 5, that activity works great. We do beading. And you could do that with just penne. You can buy penne at the store, let the kids paint it, get out some string and have them string it on the beads. Very inexpensive, a couple of dollars. And my kids, they each have their own painted color penne that they get out and they like to string. Coloring. A coloring station is really easy. Crayons, markers, coloring books, clean paper. We do magnet letter puzzle play. So it's out in the hall, but just these magnetic strips with the letters on them, and then letters that are the same size that match and go over top and stick to the board. So they have to find the letter and stick it on, and there's a whole box of cards, so everybody can do a different card. There's upper and lower case. Again, this activity, costs $10 or $12. You can order it online. Wiki sticks. Those are great. I don't know if anybody has seen those. I love Wiki sticks. I just saw them last year. Maybe they've been around for longer than that. But they're these sticky little string things. I guess they're Wiki sticks, but sticky string things. And you have, they're letter cards. So those are big card with the letter A on it, and then this sticky string that they stick on it to make the letter. Again, very hands-on. My 2-year-old doesn't know she's making a letter A and a letter B, but she knows she's supposed to try to put them on the lines. I mean, sometimes it just looks like a web on her card because she's stuck them all down. We have the number counters, which they sell those in dinosaurs, teddy bears, vehicles, and they're a big box. Kids love big boxes of little things that they can, pile up and sort and stack. And they just love, my 4-year-old loves the dinosaur counters. He just He loves them. And they're 4 different types of dinosaurs, and they're in 4 different colors. So we sort by color. I have little colored plastic bowls from IKEA, and he puts the right color dinosaurs in the right bowls, and then now we're working on classification. So it's like, okay, this is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. The other day he started sorting by meat eaters and plant eaters on the table, which is great. He came up with that idea from some of our dinosaur books and seeing the dinosaurs. We also do, vehicles. So it's like, oh, these all are gonna go to the airport, and that's over here. And he just in his little space on the table, and it's great. And those counters, they're not super cheap, I would say that, but we do use them for kindergarten and first grade too with our math, so it's worth it. I have 3 different sets of counters. So that's 3 different activities, whether we're using teddy bears, vehicles, or dinosaurs. It's similar skills though. With alphabet boxes, you can make these yourself, but it takes a little bit of time. With laminated pictures or objects, so you just take, all these things begin with the letter A, and they go in the A box, and they put them in. That's for a little older kids. You can also do tracing. So right here, I've gone through 15 different ideas. A lot of these are household items. I've seen ideas of some of my friends have done things with paper clips, and just lots of little stuff where they're feeding them through a container and dropping them in. So this isn't rocket science. It's simple. It's just, you have to be disciplined and do this regularly with your kids and give them that structure. It's really just about keeping them engaged for a set period of time each morning, and it allows them to learn a lot of things on their own while you're getting school done with your other kids. So in conclusion, if you do the circuit 3 to 4 days per week with your children and teach them to sit for an hour to an hour and a half every morning while you do circuit plus books, remember books, I never want people to forget books. You don't need to go out and purchase some expensive curriculum for your pre-K kids, something that comes in a box. You could simply do this at your house, and you'll be very, very well prepared for school. And just to reinforce, the circuit isn't about drilling academic skills into the heads of your kids. It's allowing them to learn things by free play and exploration within boundaries that you're providing for them every day, so they're practicing this skill. And if you do that, it's going to really help your sanity, and it's going to help you get a lot more done with your older children. So that's pretty much it. So does anybody have any questions?